It may be August recess for Congress, but it doesn't mean lawmakers are not keeping busy. Virginia Congressman Don Beyer just getting back from a bipartisan trip to Taiwan. Of course, it's a touchy situation with tensions between the U.S. and China remaining on high. Let's talk about the trip with the Congressman himself, Don Beyer, who's up late with me tonight on the Final Five. Sir, appreciate you taking time for us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for the invitation. It's an important subject.
Yeah, so why did you go?
Well, Congressman or Senator Markey put the trip together essentially as a human rights trip, and specifically with Taiwan, because we also went to Cambodia and Philippines. Mm-hmm. But with Taiwan, with China's militarization and with their increased projection of force around the world, there's a real concern that the compromise we made with them more than 40 years ago, that Taiwan would be able to run its own government, have a democracy, run its capitalist system, mm-hmm. Free of interference from the People's Republic of China, was in danger of going away.
When you look at the back and forth that we saw, because this was a different trip than what Speaker Pelosi took a few weeks ago, but there was a lot of controversy from the Chinese government. There was some back and forth as to whether she should go on this trip or not. Clearly, in the end, members of Congress like yourself set your own travel agenda. It is up to you to decide when you go. What was the difference between what the Speaker had accomplished and what you and Senator Markey and the others accomplished on this trip here?
Well, I think clearly our trip got much more attention than it would have otherwise because Speaker Pelosi had gone. Yeah. And because of her trip, China had really ratcheted up the live fire exercises, the planes that were flying over. They really violated that imaginary center line through the Taiwan Strait. So they were coming right up to the shores of the island of Taiwan. So our trip, which I think originally had a much milder, more benign intention, ended up being a reaffirmation of America's commitment to the people of Taiwan. And that Nancy's trip wasn't going to be the last one, that not just Speaker Pelosi, but bipartisan Democrats and Republicans were going to come together to say, we're standing with you.
When we talked about the Speaker's trip on this show, I think it was, because things are so polarized these days, that we were surprised by the number of Republican members of Congress who came out and said, we want the Speaker to go on this trip. We support her idea to go on this trip. And there seemed to be, here in the U.S. and here in Washington, a lot of support in that realm, but obviously the Chinese government, they were not happy about that. Were you at all concerned about your own safety going on this trip when you talked about the exercises that China had been doing the last few weeks?
Well, a little bit. My wife was very concerned about us being shot down, but we go to work every day with people surrounded with big guns, and lots of bad things happen. Yeah. It's not a great risk. It's just one of the things that is the small cost of public service. Occasionally for people, it's a very major cost, but that's not something we worry about on a day-to-day basis.
When you look at how President Biden has approached China during his term in office so far, are you happy with the policy? It seems like they want to keep the one China policy going here. It doesn't seem like there's any effort to change that. Are you happy with how this relationship? It's a fraught relationship, but it's an important relationship.
It is a fraught relationship, but back in the Jimmy Carter era, there was a bipartisan initiative, legislation that recognized that there is just one China. But at the moment, two very different governments, two very different systems, one people that are very free, one people that are living under a dictatorship. And I think this is something that Democrats and Republicans in the United States can jump behind to try to preserve those folks who want to live in a free and open society.
What do you see as the biggest benefit for a strong relationship between the U.S. and Taiwan right now? What is the best possible reason for an alliance, a strong alliance with the Taiwan people?
The secondary goal would be, or benefit is the strong economic ties. Mm-hmm. They are our 8th largest trading partner. We import more of the essential computer chips from Taiwan than anywhere else. And now we've reached out to try to do Taiwan-U.S. trade talks. And obviously seeing that President Biden's building on trying to do this Indo-Pacific economic framework, that we don't want China to write the trade rules of the road for the next generation. We want the United States and our democratic partners to be doing that. But that's a long-winded way of saying that's number two. The number one thing is we need to be the ones fighting for democracy, for clean elections, for self-determination everywhere in the world. And by standing with Taiwan, we're setting a good example for the people in Africa and South America and throughout Europe.
As we mentioned, Congress is on recess right now, and this is more or less what you did on your summer vacation. As you get back to work and as you head towards November, obviously we do have an election coming up. What's on your agenda? What are you seeing Congress doing between now and Election Day?
Well, the biggest thing would be to try to get our budgets passed. The House has already passed all the appropriations budgets. We need to get together with the Senate. And I chair the Space Subcommittee. We have some really important legislation on all the satellites in space and making sure they don't run into each other and that they're safe from interference. All of our communication systems, including this TV show, are dependent on those satellites. So I hope that's something we'll get done in September.
Congressman Don Beyer, always appreciate you joining us. Good to see you again, sir.
Thanks so much.
And the Final Five is back after this.